To reflect on leadership issues at the ANC's Policy Conference this weekend, we're joined by Professor Mazwe Majola from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us this evening. We do appreciate your time. So at a policy conference of this nature, leadership becomes a very important issue. We see many of the parties' top officials taking their place in very robust discussions, albeit ones where those leaders have indicated that respect and unity were the ultimate goal of such discussions. But have we seen throughout this weekend that the ANC has competent and capable leaders to implement the policies they've decided on this weekend?
Good evening and good evening to our viewers. We must commend the ANC for a very successful policy conference. I think really they displayed a high level of professionalism and discipline in terms of understanding and focusing on the purpose of the occasion. So, the occasion, the event, it was to go there and discuss policy matters. I think they've done well when it comes to that. And we know ANC and by extension our government that they've got a very good reputation of crafting very good policies. But also a very bad reputation of implementing those policies. So I think, unfortunately, they are not there yet in terms of crafting good policies and implement them. And now we had the good things they said. Obviously, these are still proposals and they're still going to be endorsed or rejected by the conference in December. However, still, when it comes to implementation, knowing the ANC, it becomes a talk shop. You know, it's just like, it's another event. They just go there, they talk. But what does this help someone who is down there with the challenges that the country is facing?
Couldn't agree more, Professor. The question, though, is that when it comes to those problems around implementation, are those problems of leadership? And what kind of leadership does South Africa need right now in order for all the good intentions to be made practical realities for ordinary South Africans, like you say, who are living down there, struggling with issues as basic as water provision, sanitation, electricity, equal opportunity to jobs? These, in many other countries across the world, are considered basic services. We in South Africa, we call them basic services, but they are not very basic, it seems, when it comes to actual delivery.
So leadership, it's a package. Everything revolves around leadership. Starting from crafting those policies, it's a leadership issue. To implementation, because you can't implement what you don't have. So you've got to put those policies, plans, strategies, tactics, and then you must implement them. So it's a package. It's not either or, but it's and both. So unfortunately, as I'm saying that, it seems like they are best on one level, but they are found wanting when it comes to the crunch issue now on execution. Because it's a good thing to meet there and talk, but the rubber must meet the road. You know, they must put these things into action. So it's very important that we have leaders who are action-oriented, leaders, because leadership without works is dead. So leadership who are committed, who are capable, who are competent, who are decisive, who are able to implement what they've been agreed upon. Otherwise, it becomes, as I've said earlier on, it becomes a fruitless exercise.
We're talking also about the trickle-down effect of leadership, surely, because you can have a party president and top six, and you can have excellent provincial leaders. But if the ethics and the values and the culture of the ANC discussed at very broadly and also in detail this weekend, if that doesn't trickle down to a regional municipal branch area level where the leadership, who are really the people who are in charge of making sure that policy decisions make very high up in the pyramid are actually enforced on ground level where the people of South Africa are, then those policies and those decisions and all the good intentions of the top leadership mean absolutely nothing. And here is often where we've seen the problem of corruption creeping in, because corruption at the ground level is so difficult to monitor. And that's where often the problem is between implementation and policy. So the question is the ANC able to self-correct and make sure that these good values and ethics trickle down to all the members and the leaders, even in those at grassroots level?
And absolutely, because you heard about plus minus 2,000 people assembled there over the weekend, and mostly all those people are leaders, NEC members, PEC members, and probably and other obvious leaders of different leadership structures were there. The test, it's when now whatever they agreed upon will be implemented by an ordinary branch member. So it's very important that they must have this ability, a high-level ability of influence, which of course leadership is about, influencing and inspiring these members and to make them understand why they agreed upon on what they agreed, because the test will be in December, when now other ordinary branch members come and say, no, but we don't agree with what you said. We agree. So the important is that these cohorts of leaders will be able to go down there and present this to their own members and make them understand.
Thank you so much, Professor. I do have to apologize for interrupting you. Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but absolutely critical discussions. These are the kinds of discussions that are going to be held for the rest of the year until December, when we can have some sense of what's going to happen to the ANC on an internal leadership level. Thank you very much for talking to us. That was Professor Mazwe Majola from the Worldwide Institute of Leadership and Development. Still to come on South Africa Tonight. We've got lots more news for you. Do stay with us. We'll be back after.